welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I am going to be swatching all of my inks for the first time in like a cohesive and organized way. So here are all the things that I'm going to be using. I have my box of inks right here, which has all of them, which as you can tell, I have a lot of Ferris wheel press. Not only am I on their PR team, so I'm currently getting 2 inks a month from them, but also before even joining the team, they were my favorite ink company. So it's mostly Ferris wheel press, but I'm gonna go ahead and swatch them all, show you the system that I'm using, and then probably do like a couple of comparisons that might be helpful. So yeah, if any of that sounds interesting, I hope you stick around. My name is Jay. On this channel, I tend to produce a lot of planner related content, stationery stuff. I also do some makeup content from like a conscious consumerism perspective. I'm doing a year-long no-buy on makeup, skincare, hair care, all that kind of stuff. And also my first project pan, where I am intentionally trying to finish a bunch of products that have kind of been languishing in my collection. So if any of that is of interest to you, I hope that you'd subscribe. And let's just get started. So I guess first, let me go over supplies. So I have this Jacques Urban, I guess, glass dip pen, which is what I'm going to use to actually swatch the inks, or like write the name of them. And then I also have Q-tips and baby wipes off to the side here to wipe the pen off between each ink. And then I also have this. So this is where I'm going to be storing all the inks that I swatch. This is a standard TN size cardstock folder that has business card slots. So there's 3 per page and then like 6 in a spread. So I'm going to be using that to hold all of the actual ink swatches. I like this idea because you can put like all of your blue inks all together, and since I'm going to put them on little cards and slot them in, I can move the cards around when I get another blue ink, so that as my collection grows, I can still keep the colors that are close to each other and in the same color family together, as opposed to like swatching it out on a paper where you've got like a blue here, blue, 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 and then you get a pink one and you put it here, but then you get another blue, and then it'd be over here instead of with the color family. I hope that makes sense. And then I've also got this stamp that I'm going to be using. This is a stamp from Beverly. I got it from Paper Plus Cloth, but I'm pretty sure that they are sold out of it, but maybe you could search Beverly stamps and see if you could find it. It's just a little ink bottle with a pipette on the top. And I'm going to use this. And then I'm going to use this. This is the Versa Fine Pigment Ink. It's a stamp block. I think that's what it's called. No, an ink pad to put the ink in, to get ink on here. I don't stamp very often. This is actually like one of the only stamps I actually own, and it's only for this purpose. So I pulled this out of the depths. Let's just hope it's inky enough to get me through all of the swatching. And then I grabbed these from Paper Plus Cloth, and these are just business card sized pieces of, I think it's watercolor paper technically, but it's the smooth one, which are gonna fit into the card slots in that file folder. I'm also gonna use a Sarasa Dry in case I just need a black pen. And then that's it. Then I have like all of the inks. This is just my Diatramentis Archive ink, which is a black ink. I'm not going to swatch it. It's the ink that I use in my Hobonichi weeks. So I'm not going to swatch that one. But all of these guys are going to get swatched and logged and filed away so that I can actually compare the colors. So yeah, without further ado, I'm going to get started. I think I'm going to do the first one with you guys, and then I'm going to just fast forward it and put on some relaxing music, and I'm going to do the rest of them on my own, and then I'll come back and show you the finished product and do a little comparison between some of the similar colors from Ferris wheel press so you guys can see the difference. I also want to say this idea is heavily inspired by an Instagram creator. I'm going to find her tag or her @ name. I don't know it off the top of my head, but I'm going to put it on the screen here. I just thought it was genius, so I am recreating it with what I've got. And yeah, let's just get started. Okay, so I'm gonna swatch one of these guys first. This is one of the Sailor inks from one of their newer collections. I can't remember what it's called. This is the Kitsune Biori. I'm hoping I'm saying that right, ink. This is one of my favorites. So we're gonna start off with this one, I think. And what I'm gonna do, I just hope the stamping goes good because I am not a stamper at all. So let's see. I'm gonna try and get it straight. That doesn't look straight. Oh, that's not bad actually. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. I'm going to take a Q-tip. Actually, let me let that dry. I think I'm gonna fill in this part here with the color, just like with a swatch of it, and then write what it is over here. So let's see. Let's dip in. Okay. Now let's see. I'm gonna put some on a Q-tip and fill in this part here. And then I'm gonna see if I can build it up towards the edge so that I can, because some inks will pool. I don't think this is one of them, and like shade a whole lot. So I'm just gonna apply some on the bottom to see if it builds in color. This one doesn't do that a whole lot, but for the ones that do, I should be able to see what the shading is like. But I think that's gonna work. I wish I lowered my writing down a little bit, but I mean, for what I need it to do, I think this is gonna work really well. My writing's not straight though. Maybe I should try again. But essentially, what's gonna happen is that this is then gonna get slotted into here, and that's my swatch for that ink. And then I can move it around as my collection changes and stuff. So yeah, okay, I like this. Okay, so I'm gonna sit here and start working on some of the other inks in my collection, and yeah, I'm probably just gonna fast forward it quite a bit. Okay, so I redid the Kitsune Biori swatch, and don't these look like two different ink colors? And the reason why is because this specific line of inks, I'm playing a dangerous game here, the fact that this thing is uncapped, but this specific line of inks works very differently on different kinds of paper. And on this one, I wrote on one side of the page, which is incredibly smooth. And on this one, I flipped the page over, which this side has a little bit more texture, more like a traditional watercolor page, but still a finer grit, but something. And look at the way that it has changed the ink color. That's like a light like mauvey pink. And this is like closer to brown. So I was doing it to see if I could center it more. And I did get the writing more centered here, but the stamp is off center. But I think I'm just gonna keep both of them and write smooth paper on this one and maybe coarse paper. How would I, textured? Maybe textured, because wow, they are actually really different. And I will probably only swatch this line of ink twice, and I'll do it on each side of the page to get the full depiction of like the color variation that it has. It's cool. I want like the whole collection. That's a future J problem. Okay, so I'm gonna put smooth, and then I'm gonna put textured. or just texture. Yeah, okay. Oh, I love this ink so much. So yeah, that's the Kitsune Biori. And I'm not going to stop to show you any more because I'll show you all of them at the end, but I just thought I would show you how this specific ink, it's the same ink, but it looks like wildly different. Wow. Okay, I'm going to move on because I'll be here for hours just admiring colors. Hey guys, so I'm back and I went through and swatched all of my inks. I've got 18 cards here. I only have 16 bottles of ink though because I double swatched the Sailor ones I talked about before. But now it is time to place them in the card file. Actually, before I do that, let me show you the comparisons. So the first comparison that would probably be of value is between Ferris Wheel Press Moss Park Green and Peter Moss. Peter Moss is definitely a little bit more vibrant compared to Moss Park Green, which is at the bottom, which is a little bit more like subdued. And it's like if you took Peter Moss and like lowered the saturation, but in a really beautiful way. Moss Park Green is my favorite green. I absolutely love it, but Peter Moss is also beautiful. They're my two favorite greens as a whole, but Moss Park Green is pretty special. And then this one actually, which I didn't realize how similar they were. So I've got Ferris Wheel Press The Fluttering Heart, which is the 2023 limited edition ink, compared to Ferris Wheel Press Lady Rose. I also have Lady Rose in gold, but I didn't swatch that one because it's the same color, just the gold one has a gold shimmer running through it, which that one I think was the 2021 limited edition or 2022 maybe. They're very similar. The Fluttering Heart maybe has a little like slight bit of peach to it, but I really, really like the Fluttering Heart. For some reason, in the past when I've written with Lady Rose, I've struggled to see it on the page, but I haven't had that issue with the Fluttering Heart because I've used it to journal a couple of times. So I don't know. They're very similar in color. If you have one, I'm inclined to say you probably don't need the other one. But I think the Fluttering Heart is my favorite. That slight bit of peach pulls it more towards a neutral color instead of more of a pink. So those are those. The other ones that might be of value to compare, oh, well, I guess here's Cloak and Forest, which is a new Ferris Wheel Press ink compared to the existing greens. Cloak and Forest is on the bottom here. So just to show, this has definitely got more blue to it than the other greens. What else? I did go ahead and actually swatch my two blacks. So the Pilot Irishizuku and Takisume, and then Diatramentis Archive ink. I did swatch both of these because I did want to see the difference. Takisume has a little bit more of a blue undertone to it when you blend it out, whereas Diatramentis is incredibly dark and black. So not much of a difference, but you know, I thought I had everything out and I was swatching. I might as well share those. And then here are some of the neutral browns from Ferris Wheel Press. So this is Workshop Wishes, which is a shimmer ink, which, by the way, shimmer inks look like this. This is actually the bottle of Workshop Wishes. The shimmer's at the bottom. So if I want, you know, to ink up a pen and I want to have the shimmer, I'll shake it real good. But if I want to just use the ink and not really have to deal with the shimmer, I just don't shake it and just take the ink from the top. So just a hint, trick there. If you really like an ink, but it only comes in a shimmer finish, or if you buy a shimmer ink, didn't realize it was a shimmer and still want to use it, something along those lines. That's just a way that you can make use of it. So this is Workshop Wishes, which I've put in parentheses the short form, because these small, I think they're 20 milliliter bottles from Ferris Wheel Press, they don't have the full names on the bottom. They just have a short form. So I've put that short form on the swatch sheet so that as I acquire more inks, I won't forget, essentially. But anyway, this is Workshop Wishes. This is Oyster Hour. And then this is Writing Desk, which was the Ferris Wheel Press collab with Wonder Pens. So there's the three of them. Writing Desk is definitely a lot more brown. Workshop Wishes, I think, is a little bit more yellow to it than Oyster Hour does. Oyster Hour is one of my favorite inks. And so is Writing Desk. Workshop Wishes is new to me. I just haven't used it a whole lot, but it is also a pretty color. I really like neutral brown shades. So those are all of the comparisons kind of value that I wanted to share with you guys. Purple Jade Rabbit, Grand Central Skies, both really pretty inks as well. Not really in my color family, like what I gravitate to, but happy to have them. And then this is my Cream of Earl Grey, which is defective. Cream of Earl Grey is supposed to have a little bit of a pink to it. And mine definitely doesn't. Like, that's the sticker for Cream of Earl Grey compared to the actual swatch. Apparently there was a batch that went out of them that were this color instead of the actual color Cream of Earl Grey is supposed to be, and I got one of the defective ones, even though I really like it. Whenever I write with it, though, I do struggle to see it because it is so light, and at some point I can see myself purchasing the correct version of it one day. But yeah, those are all of my inks. I'm going to go ahead and fill up this card file and kind of organize them and place them in as I see fit. Okay, so here we go. It's all set up. I started off with the black inks, moved into grays, and then this Cream of Earl, which is supposed to be pink but is a gray. Then I went into the greens. Then I went into like the muted pinks, which brought me into the neutral browns. And then I placed the two colorful ones I own over there. So that is my swatch book. I am not even halfway through it. I have a lot of room to grow. And while I had the stamps out and stuff, I just stamped a couple extra ones. So when I get some new inks in, I don't have to bring out the stamp pad again. Once I got the hang of it, I was like, I'm going to do a couple extra. But yeah, the only thing that I have left to do is figure out how I want to kind of decorate the front of this here. That I don't know. I do have these two washies, which this one from not Ferris Wheel Press. This one from Coffee Monsters Co. is actually ink bottles, which is really cute. But it is also blue, which I don't really care for. I could just do this and then stamp the ink bottle there. But watch that be the time that I royally mess it up. Or this one actually is a little bit more my speed. This one you've got the emojis actually like filling up fountain pens and holding fountain pens and writing with fountain pens. And maybe I do this. And there. Oh, I really like that. And then I think I do want to stamp it. Oh, I'm nervous, but I've got this. Okay, I'm gonna ink this thing up. Okay, we're all inked. Try and get it straight. Okay, I like it. Clean, simple, easy. Okay. Oh, did I get ink up here? I did. How? I don't know. But here's my little ink book. I might do some more decorating at some point, but for now I'm just going to leave it. And actually, you know what I might do? I might just take some of this little ink washi from Coffee Monsters Co., as I said, and wrap it around. Just this little front part here, so that when it's in my TN, I'll have that little bit of deco, and you'll be able to see it on the side because it does wrap around. So yeah, okay, I think I'm gonna leave it there. Thanks for hanging out with me. Let me know down below, do you have a favorite ink? And if so, what is it? I'd love to know. And yeah, before you head out, I hope that you take a second to like and subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated, and I will chat with you guys next time. Bye.